Devin Williams, a career 1.83 ERA in 6 years in the major leagues, really 5 plus years, really. And here it is. Yankees acquired Devin Williams from Milwaukee. In exchange, they send Nestor Cortez, still quite a good starting pitcher, Caleb Durbin, who is a former #1 pick, and cash going back to the Brewers, who are always very good at reconfiguring their club on the fly and dealing their top talent and still staying a very good club, a postseason club. They're division champions last year as well. Yankees losing Clay Holmes in their bullpen. They had an elite bullpen, especially by the postseason. But now they get a guy who is regarded in our top 10 right now series, the #1 reliever in the game. He's top 3 at worst. Bryan Hoch of MLB.com joins us right now. Brian, it's Brian Kenny. Thanks for joining us.
Of course, anytime.
So, Brian, busy day for Brian Cashman with the post-Soto strategy, right? Getting Devin Williams in on Kyle Tucker. Let's just start with Williams. How long was he a target? What do we know about the machinations of that deal?
Yeah, well, Brian Cashman was on the Zoom call with us about a half hour, an hour ago. Said that he's been trying to get Devin Williams for years. At the trade deadline offseason, it just always hit a dead end. And now they finally matched up here. They got a guy who's an elite closer, as I think you mentioned at the top of the show, probably one of the top 3 closers in Major League Baseball right now. I put him right up there with Edwin Diaz and Emmanuel Clase. And this is a guy, big fastball, devastating changeup. He's going to be a difference maker at the back end of that Yankee bullpen. They have some free agent departures after the postseason here. Williams is going to do a lot to solidify this here.
He was injured a good part of last year, only pitched 21 innings, but he jumped right back in. You see the numbers that we're putting up there right now with a 1.25 ERA. Gave up the big home run to Pete Alonso, of course, to end the year. But last 4 years, he is #2 in ERA, #2 in park-adjusted ERA, #2 in strikeout percentage. Yankees getting an elite guy at the very end. And then, look, Luke Weaver and the rest, I guess they'll mix and match, right?
Yeah, I think Weaver, you move him back into a setup role. And look, they're not done yet. They've still got a few free agents out there. Tim Hill, Tommy Kahnle internally. They've re-signed Jonathan Loaisiga, so maybe they can reunite there. Clay Holmes now across town with the Mets. But they do need to rebuild this bullpen here. And so I think the one thing that Brian Cashman made clear is they're not done. They're not done. Even with bringing in Max Fried, with bringing in Devin Williams, there is a lot more to do. I think that they're going to focus their attention now on the offensive side. Caleb Durbin was in line, I guess, to be their starting second baseman, although that's kind of always struck me as a Bubba Crosby as the starting center fielder type thing from 2 decades ago. The Yankees are going to be active out there looking at the trade and free agent markets here.
Okay, and evidently, Brian, you tell us they were big game hunting on Kyle Tucker. How close, how far away were they on that?
Yeah, it was never completely close. Obviously, Kyle Tucker would have been a great fit. You slide him over to left field. You have Jason Dominguez in center field, and they move Aaron Judge back to right field. Would have made a lot of sense for the Yankees. Astros did ask for Luis Gil. Apparently, the Yankees did not want to do Gil plus more. So Tucker now elsewhere, and Cashman said, look, I'm happy that he's not in the American League East. I'm happy he's not in the American League period. But the Cubs definitely got a good one there. Big trade for them.
Do you think, not just even what Brian Cashman thinks, he has no choice, but do you think that maybe not getting Juan Soto and doing all these other deals is not just a more diversified portfolio, but a better avenue in which to pursue?
Well, look, you can spread your money around a little more creatively now, but I don't think you offer a guy what the Yankees offered him if you didn't want to keep him. Obviously, plan A was keep Juan Soto in pinstripe for the next 15-plus years, but it didn't work out that way, so they pivoted here, and I like some of what they've done here, just pivoting on the fly. They moved really quickly to their plan B and Max Fried. I think Devin Williams is going to be a big impact in that bullpen, but as Cashman said, there's more to do, and I think that Cody Bellinger is a guy who we were just talking during the break. He's made a lot of sense for a few years now. I thought that Bellinger in Yankee Stadium would have been great last season. They traded for Soto instead. Couldn't argue with that. But now they got a second chance here to maybe try and bring in Bellinger.
It is amazing when you don't land the big one, and Juan Soto in his contract would have been the big one. It just enables you to do a lot more things. Again, not that they didn't want him, but a lot more things that you can do when you don't devote all that money to one player. Bryan Hoch, MLB.com. Thank you, Brian.
You got it. Anytime.